safety.
Right. Google saying that their driverless cars can now handle hazards such as bicyclists, railroad crossings, construction zones. Ooh, good news. But will they be opening themselves up to liability if they put these cars on the road? The judge is here. You think this is a stupid subject? Well, you know I'm going to go after the lawyers.
Yeah. Because we can't predict what liability is going to be until after some legislature decides to authorize
Get out of here. You know that I can correctly predict liability. I can correctly predict a lawsuit as soon as the first tire hits the road.
Well, in America, there can't be a lawsuit until there's damages. So somebody is going to have to be harmed by this thing. And have you seen the tape of it? Have you seen the tape that Google put out? It's very, very impressive. And, of course, it analogizes it to trains that we now ride, which you and I know you've ridden. You've flown into the Atlanta airport, that have no human being driving them. Did you know that when you're on that train, there's no human driving it? Now, it's on a rail. It really can't go anywhere. It just goes back and forth. So Google has analogized this to a rail, their rail, and I'm not defending the product. I'm just telling you what I saw on the tape that I watched for you this morning, some of which was stupid, but nevertheless it's fascinating. They analogize it to a rail controlled by a computer. And on this tape, all kinds of things happen. There's construction. There's a guy on a bike who's weaving in and out. There's a guy who's giving crazy signals with his hand, and the computer adapts to all of it. Look, this is technology. This is fantastic technology if this were to happen. But the legislatures would be concerned with human safety. Right now, it is against the law for a vehicle to be on the roadway without a human being driving it. So they're going to have to persuade a legislature to allow some sort of an experiment on a limited basis.
So the politicians will save us from the lawyers and lawsuits.
Oh, the politicians will get some kind of a benefit out of this from the lobbyists that Google will dispatch to get them to change their minds, to put this idea on.
And you still think it is a stupid subject that I brought up, that lawyers always get in the way of technological progress?
I didn't think you were going to hear me saying that.
Well, they did. The world heard you.
You know what? I was wrong. It's a fascinating subject. Mea culpa, mea culpa, mea maxima culpa.
I'm not asking for an apology on any sort. You contest my premise. Lawyers always get in the way.
They do. But I don't think they can get in the way until after this harms somebody. I think most judges would say, without harm, there is no lawsuit. So if this thing operates smoothly for 4 or 5 minutes or 4 or 5 weeks or 4 or 5 years, stay away.
Judge, it's the 1-2 combination. First the lobbyists get it approved, then the lawyers get in.
Correct. On the other hand, you want this to be safe, don't you?
I want this to be
safe
going forward.
Right. But you would want...
I am prepared to take a little risk for technological progress.
Well, that's very good. I am too.
Risk.
But you and I and Charles are not the typical person sitting on a jury. The typical person sitting on a jury will be persuaded that there should be no risk.
I want America to be allowed to take some risk without risk of ruin by some lawyers and their 30 pieces of silver.
You have a very progressive, lowercase p attitude towards this, and I don't know if the courts would agree with you.
Am I right or wrong?
I would agree with you.
You do.
On the
you
court.
do.
But yes, but I don't know that most of my former colleagues would.
Would it also
I think they'd be wedded to the tradition of if it causes any harm and nobody's driving it, it's not worth trying.
Is there no liberty which an American will not give up for the cause of safety?
That's a great question, and there I'm entirely with you. Even though the person who said whoever would sacrifice essential liberty in order to obtain temporary safety was considered a traitor by George III. That was Benjamin Franklin.
Are you prepared to say that I was right and that you were wrong and that this is not a stupid subject? It is profound.
I am not only prepared to say it, I say it. Stuart was right and I was wrong. This is a profound subject matter.
I hope we got that on digital tape.
Well, they do, and I know I'm going to be eating that for years to come.
Yes, you are. Yes. For the rest of your life, young man. Hey, Judge, that was a great stupid subject, but thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.